Hello everybody and welcome to a video that I'm been very excited to share with you all. It's a video that I never ever thought I would actually have to make, and it's a video that I never thought I would get to make, because this video is going to be about how I lost 100 pounds and why it even had to happen in the first place. So getting right into it, basically uh, graduating high school, I was somewhere around 180 pounds. Then, right after high school, I went right into college. And at some point during college, I want to say it was by the end of my sophomore year, I ended up weighing about 325 pounds. Yeah. So, in the time span of about 2 years, I packed on about 145 pounds, 145 pounds in that time span. Now, that sounds, I know what you're probably thinking, like, wow, how did that happen? Well, it was kind of a number of things. Basically, as for all you college kids know, or graduates even, when you take out student loans, and if the amount you qualify for goes over the amount you need for tuition, you have a few options on what you can do with that money. In my case, I just went for the refund checks, like, and they went straight to my checking account. And being an 18 to 19-year old with like $1,000 in his bank account, and never actually having worked a job during high school, um, yeah, I I didn't have like a very like good grasp on what it was like to actually have that much money. So I kind of yeah, I kind of went a little wild with it, mainly in terms of eating. So I would pretty much like eat like fast food like almost every day, honestly, after like classes. I remember I had a crazy Starbucks addiction. It wasn't just just regular like those little coffee cups that you'd see people walking around with. Like it was like the frappuccinos, if you guys know what those are. They're pretty much like think of it like, if you don't know what a frappuccino is, think of it like the shake version of like a coffee, pretty much. Like they put a bunch of ice in it, some whipped cream on top. Yeah, I had a crazy addiction to those, and not just I wasn't drinking the small ones either. I was drinking the big ones, and I was like every other day, pretty much. On top of like pastries too. So yeah, I was packing on calories like a madman, just because I had the money to do it, and I just I didn't think about how it was going to catch up to me in the long run. But obviously though, you think about the scope of how much weight I gained though, like 145 pounds, like obviously that doesn't just happen overnight. So you're probably wondering, well, what else could have possibly happened? Because obviously there was a point where I noticed how like big I was getting, right? Like I noticed, like I couldn't. Like, look, I have a whole closet of clothes right here that have been untouched for years. I'm not kidding when I say that. Like, I have not been able to wear like most of those clothes like that you see in this video for years, because I started growing out of them. Obviously, I got way bigger than I was in high school, and that was even before I hit 300. You know, uh, and so basically, other than me like spending money on like Starbucks and fast food, I started, I started hanging out with my best friend like around that time too, and like on top of me like eating fast food like on my own, me and him went out to eat a lot. So that those all that cat caught up with me as well, and yeah, and eventually it really just snowballed into me being well over 300 pounds. So now you're probably wondering, well, what was that? Like what was that like? Like, why did I just stay that way for so long? Because mind you, in sophomore year in college, I was like 20 years old. Well, 19 to 20 years old, pretty much. Uh, and so, I've been like that for almost 5 years before, I decided, enough was enough. And so that's a pretty substantial amount of time. So, so the transition from high school to college had a huge factor in like why I was the way I was. Like I knew how huge I got, but I was not really like okay with it. Like, obviously I was just very ashamed of how big I was, but like at the same time I kind of like didn't care, but like basically the transition from high school to college that had a lot to do with it wasn't just because of the refund checks I was getting from, student loans. It was also because like during college I realized, fairly early on how like different it was from high school. Anybody in high school watching this, like, yeah, college is very, very different from high school. Do not expect it to be much at all like high school because, like, that's kind of what I thought it was going to be like going into it. But no, no, it's not like high school. Because here's the thing, in college, you're going there for a specific major, right? And everybody is going there for a specific major, right? They're not going there for a high school diploma, you know, they're not getting the same. Granted, in high school, you get to choose your classes too, to an extent, but in college, it's a much bigger scale of that, and so when a semester changes, like all the people in your classroom, like unless they have the same major you're going for, you're most likely not gonna see those people again, right? That's why in college they really, encourage joining clubs and extracurricular stuff like that. Because really, I'll just be straight up and say that I didn't make a single friend in college, right? And yeah, like I kind of realized I knew that that was what was going to happen once I started understanding the nature of how college works. Because the only people that I was seeing like regularly like pretty much every year were creative writing students, and nothing against them. They were cool, but I'm pretty like it takes me a much longer time to like get to know and get to connect with people on a personal level than it does for most other people. Uh, yeah, it takes me a really long time, and so like if I would be at least somewhat acquainted with someone in one of my classes, like it wouldn't really matter in the long scheme of things because then the semester would change, and then I would never see that person again. I remember this one guy I like I kind of got tried to get back into Snapchat just to maintain a decent friendship with him, but that didn't work because I mean I don't really like Snapchat, and yeah, we didn't have the best like connection either, but I could tell he just wanted to be friends with me because I could tell he just thought I was all right and just wanted to be friends, which that's cool, but obviously it just didn't work out. So and I blame most of that because of the semester change, because again, it takes me a very long time to form friendships with people, honestly. And so, what that has to do with my weight was that I kind of just stopped caring about how I looked in front of people. You know, I just stopped caring about that. As far as my appearance went, I just started becoming very apathetic, you know? And so, because of that, I was just like, well, forget it. Like, I'll just eat whatever I want. You know, I won't like care about how much weight I'm putting on. Like as long as I'm still physically capable of doing the things that I need to do every day, like I don't care. You know, and so yeah, I just packed on the pounds and I kept on the pounds, and so that's kind of how it went for me. And that's how that's how I gained all that weight. It was because I just stopped caring about how I looked in front of people. You know, I didn't even care about the clothes I was wearing anymore. Uh, for those of you who went to high school with me and other, you know, maybe middle school and elementary school, you guys, well, mainly middle school, not so much elementary school, but mainly middle school and high school. You guys probably noticed I had my own like style that I like to, you know, keep up with. And over time I just stopped caring about that, you know. I stopped caring about how I looked. And that's just that was the mentality I had that led me into just, you know, becoming a completely different person in terms of how I looked. Another thing too was that I just had this like wild hair, and you know, to some people it looks cool, but like I really wasn't taking care of my hair at all. Like I wasn't like combing it. I wasn't, you know, I like that's kind of why I got my hair cut a couple years back was because I remember for Christmas my family they got me some like hair products for my hair. It was supposed to like help me like untangle it, but like I used it and it kind of just made it worse. So like at that point I kind of just like cut it off. But yeah, I mean, my hair was just like a mess. It was a huge mess, and you know, I really didn't do anything with it at all. Like, and I remember, I think it was during like maybe my last like year or so in college. Like, I didn't even bother really taking showers for class. I would actually just wear the same outfit I did yesterday and just not even care. You know, and it's funny that that happened because I remember back in like eighth grade. Now I didn't. Now I washed my clothes and stuff like back then, like before. You know, I would wear because like there were times where like in middle school I would wear the same outfit like in a week. I wouldn't do it like you know like 2 days in a row, but you know just as long as it was clean, I would just wear it. But one day, this kid, he asked another. It's funny because it went through two different people. This kid, he asked another kid, "Hey, does he wear the same outfit every day?" And I didn't hear the kid say that, but like, the other kid was just like, I just heard him say, "I don't know. Hey, Martin, do you wear that same outfit every day?" And I was just like, "No." I was just like I was kind of like, well, why are you asking me that? And like he was just like, oh, you know, he wanted to know. Like he pointed at the other kid that must have asked the question, and then I just kind of gave him a weird look, like what? And yeah, that seems like a very little thing, but ever since that day, at least for a while, until like you know I became completely apathetic in college. Uh, Ever since that day, I made it a point not to wear the same outfit twice in the same week. because that's just how like I wanted to look in front of people. You know, I really cared about what people thought of me back in the day. Uh, and yeah, in college I became like the complete opposite of that. And so yeah, that's really how I got that big. So moving on from that, yeah, how I felt being big, personal interactions, and my overall health at the time. Well, let's talk about my health first. Because I wanted, like, I had a doctor's visit in 2017, and I remember it pretty specifically because I remember that was before I started working at McDonald's, and that was when I was 20 years old, and I think it was just a couple weeks before I started working at McDonald's. I remember that so vividly because that was when I got the phone call from McDonald's, and so yeah, that was actually the last doctor's appointment I had. I haven't had one in 5 years, apparently. Yeah, I wonder what her reaction would be seeing me now. But anyway, yeah, so basically, what that doctor's a visit basically amounted to was just her being like, hey, you're fat. You gotta lose weight, buddy. And basically her just giving me tips on what I should do in order to lose weight. At that doctor's visit, I weighed in at 325 pounds, so it really wasn't too much. I wasn't too much smaller than what I was 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm editing this in after I just finished editing the whole video. Uh, yeah, I'm editing this in because what I forgot to mention about the fact that I can't really give you an exact amount of how much I weigh before I lost that first like 50 or 40 pounds. Yeah, the reason why I can't give you an exact amount is because we have like a manual scale that I used to use, and it's like a scale with like a pointer and like all the numbers are like on there. Yeah, our scale it caps at 325 pounds. Yo, yeah, when I would step on that thing, like that pointer would do a 360-degree spin and then some. Like I was over 325 pounds, and I was just so embarrassed, so ashamed about just seeing that pointer just like like go around the globe. Like I just wouldn't even want to stand on there long enough to like look at that. Like I would stand on it for like maybe 2 seconds and then just immediately get off. I wouldn't even want to know. I wouldn't even want to do the math on how much more weight was added on top of the 325 pounds. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that too. So yeah, but yeah, basically I brought that up because other than the doctor telling me that I really need to lose weight, when my blood test results came back, when all that stuff came back, I don't know if yeah, it was blood test results, but yeah, when that came back, it turned out I was pretty healthy, relatively a healthy dude, which is like, I mean, that honestly blew my mind. Like, when I went to that doctor's appointment, I actually was expecting them to tell me something like really bad because of how big I was. I was expecting like diabetes or something like that. But no, thankfully I was blessed enough with good health to not have any like serious health problems aside from my weight. Or at least it wasn't anything they could tell through the blood test results. Well, the only thing that was really unhealthy that was revealed from those results was I had vitamin D deficiency, which I probably still do, being honest. But No, I mean, yeah, I mean that is bad. I'm not saying it's good, but like, the symptoms are of that are pretty minimal, and it was just they gave me a prescription, vitamin D pills, and it just basically amounted to like just going outside, like during the day to get some sunlight. But anyway, aside from all that though, I mentioned that those were the health problems, or at least that was the one only health problem that the blood test result was able to, reveal for me. But now I should talk about like how I felt though. So basically, obviously being that big, uh, there were a lot of things that I couldn't do anymore that I used to be able to do. Right, like I got like tired way more easily. It became harder for me to go up flights of stairs because OU, a lot of classes are on like upper levels. So, well, I mean they have elevators there too, and that's where I kind of ended up relying on for my later years. But yeah, going upstairs was a huge pain. Other than going to OU, though, there would be times where me and my friend would go to Somerset Mall, and we'd be going there for like Chick-fil-A, and that's like on an upper level. Sometimes he'd want to take the stairs like randomly, and yeah, I mean he hated it too. But for me, ugh, when I would go up that second flight, like it would be like my legs could like not even like move. Like it would get bad. Like I would need to like take it like a whole minute before I could like go up that last flight, and it was just very bad. Like it made me feel like terrible. Like man, I am super out of shape, man. I'm really out of shape. And yeah, other than physical stuff like that, uh, yeah, like one big thing was when I would be trying to go to sleep at night. It was a living nightmare going trying to go to sleep at night because honestly, if I'm being honest, nowadays I still don't really get like the best sleep, but it has improved dramatically. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, trying to go to sleep at night. It took like all night just to get like even like an hour of shut eye. And oh my goodness, my heart, like, this is gonna sound scary, but like, my heart would just be racing, like, just pumping while I'm like trying to go to sleep, man. And it was, yeah, like, it felt pretty scary. There were some nights where it was so bad, I was just like, man, am I just gonna have a heart attack right here? Like I'd be like Mermaid Man from SpongeBob, like bring it on, bring it on. Like I would just be like, come on, man, if you're gonna do it, just do it, so we could get this over with. But nah, anyway, yeah, those were some pretty rough nights right there. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think that gaining weight would affect my sleep like that, like it did. Another thing too. Speaking of, trying to go to sleep and laying down, my bed. There were, I think there were multiple instances where the boards that holds up the mattress for my bed would like collapse. Now, it's not that the whole like bed ever collapsed, thank God. But like I would just hear a board just like come down, and like I know my dad, he actually like had to like fix it for me, and yeah, that was very uncomfortable feeling. I knew it was because of how like huge I was. I knew it wasn't. I never tried to like kid myself into thinking, oh well, it was just a freak accident. Oh, it's an old bed. I had it since I was like, I had it since I was like 4, or I've had it for as long as I can remember. It's just an old bed. That's why that happened. No, no, no. It's because I was huge. That's why it happened. I would hear the springs in the mattress like going like ding, like I could just hear them like breaking under my weight, man. It was really bad. Thankfully, I don't really I don't hear any of that stuff anymore. It's awesome. But yeah, those were things that like I literally like felt like being so big. Uh, yeah, another thing, personal interactions could be more awkward at times. I already shared that story about me going up to Dairy Treat, and yeah, you guys already heard that. Well, for those of you, because I'm planning on posting this on YouTube too. For anyone who might be watching on there who's a complete stranger, it was basically I just like went up to a drive-through. It was someone I knew from high school, and they literally it was very unintentional. But they just kind of blurted out, "Wow, what happened?" And yeah, that was basically the gist of that story. But anyways, I remember a cable guy came to our house, and like I guess our TV cables were like in the basement, so like I just had to like show him to where the basement was and stuff. And we have like a bunch of like weightlifting equipment in our basement, and like I was like showing him around and stuff. And at one point, he was looking at the weight equipment, and he was like, "Okay, so yeah, man, do you play football?" And then I'm like, I was like, "No, I mean, it wasn't uncommon even when I was skinny. Like for well, skinny. I was never actually like legit skinny since I was like in elementary school. But anyways, when I was like 180 pounds, like people would ask me if I played sports. I don't really know what makes people why I would give off that kind of vibe at all, but people would ask me on occasions. But no, I mean, he asked me, "Oh yeah, so do you play football?" And I was just like, no, no, I'm never was good at football, never played sports." And then he goes, "Oh, really? Oh, you seem, I mean, you seem like," I asked because you seem like you have the build for it. And it's just like, people never, said things like that before I gained all that weight. Like, and, other things too. These are more little things, but, yeah, people would call me, big man. Uh, Not to, yeah, yeah, like even at McDonald's, I remember I would hear some people call me, when they'd be talking to other people trying to point me out, they'd be like, "Yeah, the big guy over there," and blah blah blah, stuff like that. One time I was going to the bathroom at OU, and I was going into a certain stall, and this one guy, as he was leaving, he was like, "Oh, no TP in there, big man." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." And people would call me like big guy, big man, all that stuff. Yeah, nicknames that I just never had. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just get these big guy nicknames that I didn't have when I was 180 pounds. So, yeah, personal interactions felt, a little more awkward. But, yeah, yeah. So, knowing how big I was, because I was very self aware, you know, I never tried to deny it. I made sure that my clothes size were, bigger and fitting me. This shirt I'm wearing, if I don't seem that much smaller, it might be because of the shirt. Because this is a 4XL that I'm wearing right now. And yeah, that's just what I had to wear to feel comfortable when I was that big. I can get away with like, I mean, I guess there's nothing stopping me from wearing 2XLs, but for now I just feel more comfortable in like 3XLs and 4XLs. I still need to work on my wardrobe, I guess. But anyways, yeah, there were times though when I was that big, where I actually did try to put forth an effort into actually like losing weight. The problem was that like my efforts were, kind of in vain. Like I know for a fact that before I started working at McDonald's, I was actually trying to do like interval training on the treadmill. Like I would, cause I knew how big I was and how like, out of shape I was. I was just trying to like do like I only did like 15 minutes on the treadmill, because I know like 20 minutes would have been a little more beneficial, or even 30 minutes, but since it was interval training, I was just trying to like take it easy, just trying to do that first. And yeah, I just I couldn't keep up with it. Like I remember one time, I don't know if this was in the same time period, but like one time I was like drinking water while I was like running on the treadmill, and like I needed to exhale. I needed to exhale, and like I took a huge swig of water while I needed to exhale, and I just couldn't, because like I was like just panting really heavily, and all that water, I ended up just like spitting it out. Like I couldn't keep it. I couldn't swallow it. And it was almost like I threw up, but like no, it was just I just like spewed out that water that I had in my mouth. And I think some of it actually came out of my nose, because I noticed like my nose started bleeding afterwards. It wasn't like a terrible nosebleed, but like yeah, I remember my nose was like bleeding after that. And so like yeah, stuff like that was really just discouraging for me. Like so yeah, I just like, and when I started working at McDonald's, I pretty much just like because McDonald's was really, really, really tough on me, like on my body physically. Like my feet, man, they do not look how they would have if I never worked at McDonald's. Or I mean, at my current job too, I stand on my feet like all day too. But like McDonald's was my first job, and like my body like just was not used to that. Was just not used to being on my feet like for like hours straight. And so like I got like blisters on the sides of my feet, and they're like long blisters. Like nowadays, like they're kind of just like I mean, I guess maybe they weren't really like blisters, but like nowadays it's just like calluses pretty much. At least that's what I call it, because it doesn't hurt anymore. Yeah, my feet are just fine now. I can move around like easily now without my feet hurting, so it's all good. But man, I think it took months for my body to get used to working at McDonald's, or at least just being on my feet for so long. I remember I was like limping. I was literally limping around that job. And like because of how huge I was, I think people like at first just thought that was how I normally walked. Like they're probably just thinking, "Oh, well, he's a big guy. He just waddles." But no, 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 no. That was because I was in so much pain, and I think not only was it because I just wasn't used to that work, but like it was just also, it had to have also been because of my size. Like there's just no question. Because if it wasn't, then I mean, how come the other kids that were like 100 pounds smaller than me, why were they able to do it just fine? But yeah. Let's see, what was I saying? Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, McDonald's. It just was that. That was kind of just like also a big hindrance on my weight loss, because I kind of just gave up like outside exercise entirely because of how much pain my feet were in. And so, but yeah, I mean, as the years went on though, and I got more used to having a job, that's when I was just like, okay, you know what, let me try dieting. Dieting, eating McDonald's 4 times a week, not a very good diet. And yeah, here's the thing. Let me explain. My version of dieting was basically cutting out sweets. I thought sweets was my whole issue. You know, that's the main thing that I personally consider junk food. Because I was just like, well, you know what? I don't really eat like chips and fries. I don't really eat that stuff. So, I think if I just cut off sweets, then maybe I'll be able to lose weight, right? Wrong. Because I tried that diet multiple times back in those days. Not only did it not work at all, like I didn't lose any weight just cutting out sweets. It didn't work in the slightest. Uh, Not only did it not work, but I eventually just went back to eating sweets anyway. So yeah, because I was just like, well, I'm not losing weight anyway, so may as well just go back to eating dessert. And so yeah, that's those were the diets that I tried to do. And yeah, that didn't work. Uh, as far as exercise goes, it was yeah, it was 2 years ago. Thankfully, this was what like started to get me back on the right track because exercise was the biggest thing that I was putting off, like the absolute most. And yeah, what ended up getting me back on the right track was what I did in high school to lose weight. Now, what I did in high school to lose weight, I mentioned it in my last in yeah, my last weight loss video. Yeah, I lost weight twice in high school, and it was from doing the exact same thing that I did to lose weight 2 years ago. And what I did, I really didn't make any major changes to my diet. What I did was I like I was mentioning, I have a treadmill. There's like a 30-minute program on that treadmill, and it's like I forgot. Oh yeah. I think it's called like the Urban Park program, and it like it's for 30 minutes, and like there's inclines too. Like it works with an incline, and like after 45-second intervals, like it'll go up or down, and like I would do that at like a certain speed, and like it would, man, it would just be a really good workout for me. Like I would just be like sweating, like like I would be drenched in sweat, and like it was just a great workout. I remember when I was like so big, like it was hard, like it was literally hard for me to take off a 4XL shirt because of how much I was sweating. Like it would remind you the shirt is 4XL, and it was so hard for me to just take off that shirt just because I was sweating. Like that's how big I was. Like it was crazy. And but yeah, I'm so glad that I decided to do that again. Because here's the thing, I noticed that when I would like do that exercise program for like a couple months, it would work. Like I would lose like last time I think I lost like 50 pounds. Just like how in high school, like I also lost 50 pounds doing that. That was the most I lost doing that program in high school. And so like just like then, I lost 50 pounds 2 years ago, and I posted about it on Facebook. And that was when I got out of the 300 club, and that was like a huge success for me. Like that was like a huge relief. Like, oh my god, I finally managed to get out of the 300 club. I no longer have to say that I'm like over 300 pounds because, oh my god, that was pretty embarrassing. It really sucked having to say that. Like, I remember when I was getting my driver's license when I turned, yeah, I think it was 21. 21 years old is when you have to when you have to renew your driver's license, I think. I could be wrong about that. But I remember it was like embarrassing having to like tell the Secretary of State lady when she asked for my weight. I was just like, I was just like, 300 pounds. Or no, 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 not even 300 pounds. I was like 324 or 325 or something. But yeah, that was a huge success, huge success. And but then I noticed I can't remember, honestly. I can't remember, you guys, if I like stopped doing that or if I kept doing it and just wasn't losing any more weight. But you know what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was still like going on the treadmill for sure for like 30 minutes. But the problem was I ended up hitting a plateau. I stopped losing weight, and I wanted to lose more weight. Because I was pretty much, even though I was technically out of the 300 club. I was still like teetering. I was still teetering, like in that area. Like I would still like, because you know how your weight fluctuates. Like I was like the biggest I would get was like 299, and that's like, I mean that's borderline 300. Is not a huge difference. And so at one point I realized that what, I'm probably gonna be stuck in this area until I do something different, right? Like something completely different. Like I can't just keep doing the same thing. I have to do something different if I want to keep losing weight. And so that is when I ended up running into some inspirations, things that motivated me. And so the first things were actually with my mom and my sister. My I would notice it was funny because I would hear them talking about joining like this weight loss program. Honestly, I just at the time I just didn't really think much of it. But I remember there were these days where I would just see my mom just like walking around the house, just like walking like in a certain like route around the house. I'd kind of be like, hmm, I wonder how that's working for her. And not only that, but like my sister was like I'd noticed she was like eating like different things. Like she would be eating these things called overnight oats. And like I remember just thinking like, overnight oats. That sounds kind of like interesting, I guess. Like in supposedly healthy. And basically, I was just observing like their like everyday lives pretty much, and just like wondering how it was like working out for them. And sure enough, yeah, they were losing weight. I noticed. Well, not only did I notice, but like they were talking about it before I noticed, and then like when they would talk about it, I'd be like, yeah, yeah, they are losing weight, and I really noticed it with my mom. Like I mean, obviously I noticed it with my sister too, and my best friend even one time we were talking, and like he noticed she was losing weight, and but yeah, I noticed my mom, yeah, because I know she went on a couple of different diets, and yeah, she lost a lot of weight, and so I was like really proud of her, and and she was one of my motivators. But now this is gonna be really, really random, because there was like a definite time where like I decided, you know what, it's time for me to make a change. It's time for me to finally try to lose weight because I'm sick of being this big. And again, this is gonna be really random, but it was because of this YouTuber. Uh, he was doing a reaction video. Now I don't really like reaction videos, but like it was because it was an even bigger YouTuber at the time. Like this YouTuber was pretty much trending. No, nobody talks about him anymore, thank God, because yeah, the YouTuber like one of the YouTubers I'm talking about is his name is Nico Avocado, I think. It's either Nico or Nico Cavo. It's something stupid like that. But yeah, this guy is an idiot. This guy is a moron. Okay, because basically, uh, I'm not saying that he was healthy before. He was like super. I seen old pictures of this guy. He was like super skinny. He didn't look healthy then either. Like actually, he actually looked anorexic, honestly. But no, basically, what this guy did is he started doing these absolutely ridiculous videos of him like eating these ginormous, like just huge portions of fast food. Like he'd be eating like whole pizzas with like these giant like cups of ranch, and it would just it was really like it, but for whatever reason, people were really just drawn to it. Like that's why he was doing it because it was getting him a lot of attention, most likely making him a lot of money, and he was just eating so much for these videos that this guy ended up becoming like over. I mean, he's probably even bigger now, but I'm pretty sure he became over like 300 pounds, or possibly even bigger than that when I was watching the video. But basically, it actually wasn't his video that I was watching. It was the reaction video. Shout out to Westside Live, because that's the channel I was watching. That's the dude who was reacting to this Nico Cotto avocado idiot. But yeah, he was reacting to it. He was pretty much as disgusted as I was. But yeah, here's the thing though. Westside Live, he's kind of a bigger dude, and but yeah, he was talking about like he pretty much had the same mentality that I had, like yeah, I know I'm big, but like like I don't want to be like this guy where I'm making myself big on purpose because this when I got big, it was never on purpose. It was just because I stopped caring about what I was eating. And I'm sure. I mean, West Side Live. I don't know the guy, but like I know he had to at least have been in like a similar boat that I was in. But yeah, he was. But yeah, he was talking. He was reacting to these videos, and he was just like. He's just like, man, this stuff looks like drugs to me now. Like, I don't know how this dude is eating all this, like, is just eating all this crazy stuff and making himself gain weight like this. And like, yeah, he was in the video. He was drinking like West Side Live. He was drinking like this gallon of water because he was talking about. He basically started talking about what he was doing differently because he was trying to lose weight, And I could even, because I'd watched a video of his, like a couple of videos of his beforehand, before watching this specific one, and he looks bigger in those videos. But like when he was watching this Nico Cavo video, whatever, yeah, he looked smaller. He looks like he was losing weight, and like and yeah, like as but yeah, like I was like really proud of him, and like that simultaneously watching Nico Cotto like being disgusted with him, and like I was watching him, I'm like, man, this guy is disgusting. Like I would never be like this guy. But then like that's when it like clicks. Like as I was watching that reaction video, when I thought that, I was like, wait a minute, this guy's over 300 pounds. I'm like 290. I'm not that far off. And that is essentially when I decided to do something. And then I started thinking, well, what am I going to do? You know? And that's when it dawned on me, wait a minute, I could do what my mom and my sister are doing. Well, what they did do at least. And but here's the thing, that actually goes a little deeper too, because not only did they lose weight, but they actually mentioned something about my uncle, who was doing the same thing they did, and he lost like 90 pounds. At least that's what they told me, you know. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know he had that much weight to lose. And I was like, really inspired by that and shocked. And like, that's like after watching that stupid YouTube video. Well, you know, West Side Live is cool, but you know, the other guy was basically the big driving force as to why I decided to start losing weight. Uh, yeah, so I was just like, you know what? I should do what these three are doing: my mom, my sister, and my uncle. And yeah, so to tell you guys what I've been doing, yeah, this isn't an ad. I'm not getting paid to make this video, I promise. Uh, I decided to sign up for a weight loss program called Noom. Noom is what it is. Noom. That's how it's spelled. It's basically moon spelled backwards. Noom. Uh, you may have seen it on commercials. It's like a weight loss program that's mainly targeted towards women. That's how a lot of weight loss programs are marketed, though. I notice, kind of dumb, but whatever. Yeah, I didn't care about that. I signed up for it anyway, and yeah, it ended up being a huge. Sorry, I'm just getting my notes out. It ended up really, really, really helping me. And so basically, to describe what it is without going too far into the details, it's funny because it actually ended up being what my doctor was telling me to do like all those years ago, 5 years ago. I mean, she didn't tell me to sign up for Noom, but she was just saying, yeah, you what you need to do is you need to lower, like, just basically not eat as much as you normally do, right? Not eat as much, and just go out for walks, like maybe like 30 minutes a day. Like 30 minutes will do you some really good. Will really do you some good. Just walking, and you know, when you're drinking stuff, you could just drink like she literally told me like you could drink like diet pop, you know. I mean, I'm not trying to say diet pop is good for you, but like if you're looking to lose weight, you know, like remember that diet pop is like 0 calories, you know. Anyway, that's besides the point. No, really the big things though were Noom had this really, really good food categorization system where it categorized foods, like most foods that you could ever think of, in three separate categories. There are green foods. Those are foods that you could eat like as much as you want, like as long as you were sticking to your calorie budget. That's food like vegetables, fruits, um, probably like whole grain products, you know, stuff like that. Almond milk, that's a great one. Almond milk is the go, man. Like that is like if you like overnight oats, well, like overnight oats in general is just like a great thing to prep for food. Like, and almond milk, like, cause see, here's the thing. I made almond milk. I made overnight oats with both whole milk and almond milk. Uh, it tasted the exact same with almond milk, and almond milk is healthier than whole milk, or at least it's better for losing weight than whole milk is, right? Because yeah, almond milk is green anyway. Back to the categorization. They had green foods, and they also have yellow foods now. Yellow foods are less healthy than green foods, but they're not gonna like if you because they basically say eat moderate portions of yellow foods. And yellow foods, I mean, they have benefits too. Like it could be like grilled chicken, salmon. Salmon is amazing. Like salmon tastes good, and it has those like omega acids, whatever you call them. Vitamin D. I definitely need some more vitamin D. So salmon is good for that, but it is labeled as a yellow food, so you can't eat too much of yellow foods without, or if you want to lose, if your main goal is to lose weight, like it was for me. But anyway, those are yellow foods, and then you have red foods. Now that's stuff like pizza, cookies, chocolate, stuff like that. But also it's stuff you wouldn't really think of, like nuts, almonds, stuff like that. And basically, what Noom did, because the thing is that Noom really didn't like demonize all foods, they just categorized the foods, and that's where Noom is really smart because they never said any food is off limits. I could eat whatever I want, but I had to stick with my daily calorie budget, and I had to make sure that I wasn't going over calorie budgets. Because the thing with the food category, why can't I say this word? With the food categories, they all had their own budget. Like green foods, like I said, you could eat as much as you want as long as you stick within your daily budget, which is like your general budget. Yellow foods, you can only eat moderate portions. Red foods, you have to like absolutely limit your portions. Like when I was bigger, I could eat like without exercising. Like I think the most I could eat in red food budget was like 600 calories, and like fast food, like most of fast food is red, and like I would eat way over 600 calories with fast food. So that's really where I was like going wrong, like 100%, 100%. And so like Noom really opened my eyes to that. Like that was the great thing about Noom was how like it really, 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 really opened my eyes to how much I was really eating. So yeah, I'm really grateful for it. So that I'm really grateful for it for opening my eyes to, what a real diet looks like. Because like the dieting I was doing on my own personally was not good. I had a very poor understanding of what a diet really looks like, you know, because I was just like, oh, if I just cut out sweets, I'll be good. No, no, absolutely not. Because guess what? The red food budget, right? I could eat. Well, back when I was bigger, like nowadays, I can't really eat as much red food as I want to because that's just. I can't explain to you guys how calories and your weight works, but like I can't go into the science with that. But now that I'm smaller, I can't really eat as much red food. But anyways, like every day, every day, man, I've been eating dessert. Like that's what I save my red budget for is dessert because I know if I cut it out, like I'm probably like if I deprive myself of sweets because that's what I love the most, sweets. Like I'm gonna be real, like that's just what I love, and that's why I was cutting them out for my dieting because I was just like, you know what, I have to deprive myself. I have to deprive myself of my favorite things to eat, and yeah, that didn't work. Uh, Deprivation is not how you sustain a diet. It's not. And Noom taught me that. And like, It was really just a great weight loss program. It encouraged me to walk more because like I now can keep track of my steps because of Noom. And I remember it's funny because when I would see my family, oh yes, that's another one I forgot to mention. My dad also, he didn't actually sign up for Noom or anything, but like he was kind of just copying what my mom and my sister were doing, where he was watching what he was eating, and because that's really all a Noom like amounts to. You're just watching your portion control, and you're also adding fruits and vegetables to your diet as well. That's kind of what it all amounts to, without going into the specifics. But anyway, my dad was pretty much just doing what they were doing, just like copying them. And yeah, he lost weight. He lost a lot of weight too. And so yeah, like I had a lot of people in my life who inspired me. It was just that YouTube video that was the final like nail in the coffin. You know, the the coffin for, the old fat me anyway. I mean, I'm still a big dude, but I'm far from where I used to be, right? But yeah, Noom was a huge success for me. So basically, I eat dessert every day. I still do. Uh, that's not a problem. Also, what I eat though, to get more specific, what I eat for yellow foods is like it's a store brand like frozen dinner. Not really a frozen dinner. It's more like a frozen entree. They're called Smart Ones, and those are in the yellow food category. Most of them are. They're pretty low calorie. They taste really good for what they, for the calories, And this, I think that's a brand that branches off of Weight Watchers. So, that explains that. Uh, I know frozen food like doesn't really sound because it's really like demonized, But as long as you're like getting like the right brands, I think it's fine because it fits into the yellow food category. So it's really, not that bad for you. And I mean, look at how much weight I lost, right? But yeah, I for snacks, I usually just do fruits and not really vegetables, honestly. Uh, but fruits, because I actually really do like fruits. I can eat fruits for sure. And, I'll eat an apple, I'll eat a banana. I'll do that in place of what snacks usually, like, used to be for me, chocolate, candy, whatever it was at the moment, whatever I wanted. Like, pastries for sure. But, yeah, like, my diet really isn't, uh, it's not like too far off from what I was doing before. It's just a matter of portion control and getting the right things to eat too. Like, and being the right thing to eat isn't always going to be like vegetables. Because let me tell you guys, I don't eat salads. Like, I do not eat salad at all. Okay, like I literally do not eat salad. So believe me, you if you want to lose weight, you do not have to just like become a vegetarian. You do not have to become a vegan to lose weight. You don't have to do that. So like just keep that in mind because I know if you're still watching this video because Jesus, it's almost an hour long. If you're still watching this video, I know it's not just because you're like interested in my story, but I know it's because you're trying to find motivation yourself. So like, you do not have to become a vegetarian. You don't have to be a vegan. You don't have to eat salad all day to lose weight. Okay. What I did to sum it all up, what I did was I limited myself to like one dessert a day. And when I say one dessert, I mean like I would eat like a big like well a big dessert. Like I would eat like a crumble cookie. Like those are pretty like high in calories. Because you know I could actually afford it. You know, being a guy and you know being a bigger guy at that, like I could actually afford to eat just like one big crumble cookie a day. If you guys are familiar with crumble cookies, that place is delicious. Yeah, but like I would do that because I could afford to do that to lose weight. Um, for yellow foods, I would eat like that would be like me eating like meat. Like I would eat like grilled chicken, salmon. I would eat mashed potatoes. I think mashed potatoes actually get demonized. Yeah, yeah. I think there are diets where they're just like, oh, don't eat potatoes. That'll mess you up. No, no. I eat mashed potatoes for sure, and I still was able to lose weight perfectly fine. Uh, green foods, like I was saying earlier, you could eat any green foods, you'll be just fine. Uh, so basically, it all amounts to watching your calories and watching what kind of calories you're eating too. That's really important because if I were just watching my calories, yeah, I probably would not be in the boat that I'm in right now. Because I would probably be relying on fast food, honestly. Uh, Honestly, not gonna lie to you guys, I still do eat fast food. It's just that I'm making sure I'm like not eating like the stuff that I would normally eat from fast food places, like burgers or chicken sandwiches. Because that's another big thing is that I didn't do this on purpose. Like it was never intentional when I started the diet. But like I noticed that I just completely stopped eating bread. You know, I'm not saying you can't eat bread, but like that's just one thing I noticed when I started the diet that I really don't eat bread like I used to. Oh, another big thing for sure. I don't eat fried stuff like I used to at all. Like I do not eat fried stuff unless I'm like treating myself or because that's another big thing. Be sure to like treat yourself on occasions because if you don't, that's you know that's gonna lead to some issues. You're gonna get cravings and like more cravings than usual because I get cravings for sure. I mean I'm still a human, but here's the thing. I actually will honor the craving. You know, like if I'm really craving something, I will eat what I'm craving. Okay, I will not like deprive myself. It's just that you do have to make sure you're you know eating red foods in moderation. You know, if you're going overboard with them, make sure that that's like for a treat, like a special occasion. Yeah, so bread, fried foods. I don't eat a lot of red meat anymore. I noticed. Uh, the main meats that I eat are like, well, I guess fish isn't really considered meat. I mean, I consider it meat because I mean it's from a living thing. So, one second, one second. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to use the bathroom really quick. Anyways, what I was saying earlier is, yeah, I mean, I bread, fried foods, and most fast food I would eat. Like I just like don't eat it anymore. You know, not to say that it's like, not to say that I never will eat it anymore. I will on certain occasions. It's just that I don't make that like my main diet. You know what I mean? I think it helps to drink a lot of water because that's actually the first step I took with the program that I was like, you know, taking seriously. I started drinking a lot more water. Yes, you will have to go to the bathroom a lot, like like I just did. But no, I think drinking a certain amount of water will actually like curb hunger cues. Like it will help you feel like if you're depending on how much water you're drinking, like you'll actually get full. Like, I remember I was drinking so much water at first, like I didn't feel like eating because like I could like feel that stuff in my stomach. I was just like yeah, yeah, no need to eat. But yeah, that was my first step. Uh, Another big step too, like, and I should probably transition more to exercising now. Uh, was walking. Uh, I remember thinking that when I would watch my family like compare their steps and stuff and like talk about how many steps they were getting, I don't know why. I just thought it was like I just like did not think much of it other than like man, that just seems kind of like corny. Because like I was just thinking like man, can you really like lose weight like that just by walking? Because like I really underestimated the power of walking. And nah, I mean walking will help you for sure. Because I started doing it, and yeah, I mean I have more energy. Like I'm sure it was part of what helps me lose weight. Because I'm gonna be honest though, like I think that the biggest reason why I lost so much weight was because of my diet. If I'm being real, uh, because like right now I have my goal set for like 10,000 steps a day. I don't. I make that goal like maybe at most 3 times a week. I don't really. I mean, I definitely walk more than I used to. That's for sure. But as far as exercising goes, I was doing more exercise when I was like bigger when I first started the program because there was like an exercise regimen that they gave me, and I was following that for a good couple months. Then I took a long break from exercising at all. But once I noticed that my weight loss was starting to like slow down a bit, that's when I was just like, oh, okay, maybe I should start exercising more. Now, to give you guys specifics on what exercise I was doing other than just going for walks outside, I would. There were some days where I would like actually focus more on intense cardio. So like, I would hit the. I like the stair climber at Planet Fitness when I want to go for intense cardio because it just like even though it definitely gets me like drenched in sweat, like it doesn't really feel like I'm like doing much for some reason. Like you know, going for a jog on the treadmill for me that's way more like strenuous than the stair climber. I couldn't tell you why, but that's just how I am personally. Other exercises, I would do calisthenics in my room. I would do like they calls it a dynamic workout, 15 minutes, where like you set a timer for 15 minutes and you do a round of 10 squats, 10 crunches, and 10 push-ups. But me, I can't do many push-ups, especially when I was like bigger when I started the program. Yeah, I couldn't do a single real push-up when I started the program. So what I would do instead, I would do girl push-ups. Yeah, I would do that because, I mean, it's better than not doing them at all. And hey, you got to build upper body strength somehow. So yeah, I would do that, the girl push-ups. I would do that for 15 minutes and see how many sets I could or rounds I could do, and within that time frame. I definitely got better over time because I think the first time I could only do 6 rounds of that. Then I was able to do 9 rounds of that in 15 minutes. Last time I did it, well, not last time, but like my personal best now was 11 times. I was able to do it 11 times in 15 minutes. But that was only doing girl push-ups, so not super impressive. But it is improvement, that's for sure. That's the important thing. But yeah. Speaking of push-ups, though, recently I just found out that I could actually do 3 real push-ups, which is awesome because I haven't been able to do a single push-up and I don't know how long. Because I remember I tried to do them in high school, and I couldn't even do them then. I couldn't even do them when I was skinny. Like it was, yeah, it was my upper body strength is just that bad. But hey, it's finally getting better, and that's what's important. But yeah. So that was some of the exercise I was doing. I would also do that same exercise, except I wouldn't try to do it as fast as I could within 15 minutes. I would just like take my time doing it, like just doing 10 rounds of it, and that would take me about like 30 minutes. Just as like a more, what do you call it, like a more relaxed exercise, I guess you could say. Because the dynamic one is more about like stamina as well, and that's what I like about that workout. But anyways, I would also do some weightlifting. Some days I would do upper body, so like biceps, triceps, um, like shoulders, chest, all that good stuff. Some days I would weightlift like for lower body. I feel like there's one I'm missing. No, no, I think that was pretty much all I was doing. Because honestly, I know I shouldn't have done this, but I would actually skip like yoga. I skipped yoga and like stretching like a lot. Like honestly, at the time, I couldn't even really do the yoga. I tried, but like some of those poses I literally just could not do. So yeah, I never got into yoga or stretching or anything like that. Uh, to talk about some of the flaws I noticed with the exercise part of Noom is that I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I noticed it would be kind of biased about certain exercises. Like I noticed for weightlifting, like it would say do 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps for upper body, right? But then when I would go to lower body, it would say do 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps. And I'm not an exercise expert, but like I'm just thinking like, because I know Noom is mainly marketed towards women, and you guys probably already know where I'm going with this, but I'm like, are they trying to give me a big butt? I'm like, because I just found that kind of odd, that they were stressing more lower body strength than upper body strength. Me, I kind of, after a while, I kind of ignored that and I went more for upper body strength because that's what I personally want anyway. I want upper body strength, because I've always been really, really weak, uh, you know, even when I was bigger, I was like, I was pretty weak, you know, for and people would assume I was strong because of how big I was, but no, no, I've always been my whole life. I've always been a very weak guy, you know. So that's what I tried to focus on for exercise was upper body strength, and I still do that. When I feel more satisfied with any like gains, I'll try. That's when I'll try to like even it out, so like lower body as well. One thing I've been neglecting for sure that I shouldn't be neglecting at all is the core, like abdomen strength. Um, yeah, so that's what I would do for exercising. Weightlifting, I focused more on machines because like dumbbells, I don't know, dumbbells were like I mean, I can like doing those, but like at the same time, I feel like it was harder to maintain a form, your actual form when you're like using dumbbells. So I decided to use the machines at Planet Fitness instead, and I think that helps me keep up a better form. Although it could be kind of misleading, because like I could do like I remember I was doing like 70 pounds for bicep curls on the machine, but that doesn't translate to being able to do 35 pounds with dumbbells, which is for each arm, which was weird to me, but like whatever, I'll take it, whatever. I can't do the dumbbells, but I can do the machines, whatever. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that for the exercise. How I feel now. Uh, well, first I'll go into some of the negatives. I was kind of getting into it a little, I was kind of getting into it like just now, but like, uh, there are a couple of things I do miss about being bigger. Well, one thing, I could fit my clothes better, because now it's like I have no idea what my pant size is now, because like the people at my job now, they ordered a new pant size for me, and because they noticed how like big my pants were getting on me, so they got me new pants, and yeah, they are really tight on me. So that was actually a waste of money, because I think they took it out of my paycheck, which sucks, but whatever. Um, yeah, like I miss the I miss not being able to wear some of my clothes, because they're getting like way too big on me now. And like now I'm gonna have to like probably get a new wardrobe, or I could. Hey, best case scenario, I could start wearing my old clothes again, which hey, that'd be really cool. But no, I mean I probably will start having to buy new clothes, which sucks because I'm going back to college this fall, and that's not gonna be cheap. And I'm planning on not taking out any loans, because hey, I mean, I started saving money better, or more like I just got a better paying job, I guess. It's not really about me saving money. It's just like I just have a job that pays better now. But anyway, so that's one thing I miss about being bigger. This one's kind of funny, but I also kind of miss the intimidation factor. So yeah, I kind of miss having that, because even my best friend was just like yeah, bro, you used to be scary, which is pretty funny to me. Because like I mean I couldn't really tell how like serious he was when he said that, but like I could tell there's like a degree of seriousness, which I mean that was pretty funny though. But yeah, that's another thing I miss. Um, yeah, another thing. This one last thing I miss though is that I noticed I got weaker. Like, because I mentioned earlier that I took a break from exercising. I was, well, no, I guess I wasn't really losing that much weight, because I mean that's why I started going back to exercising again in the first place. Was because I noticed I was hitting another plateau, and so I started weightlifting again, and man, I actually got weaker. And it sucks because I was actually getting stronger when I was being consistent. But man, because I lost weight, I just noticed I got weaker, and like that just sucked. Because I know that like when you get fat, like your body actually has to like. I mean, I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I read this somewhere. When you get fat, like your body starts to like put on muscle in order to like live with that every day, because your body has to be able to support that like added fat, because obviously the fat isn't going to do anything for you. The fat itself is not going to make you stronger, but your body is going to make you stronger, because it's starting to build a muscle in order to support all that fat. because the muscle is what does the work. It's not the fat. Fat is just what I think that's just what like protects you. I mean, that sounds funny, but I think there is like science and truth to that. But let's see how I feel now though. Yeah. Sorry, I was just glancing at my notes. No, I feel happier. I feel a little more confident. I can sleep way better. I have more energy for sure. I also appreciate the outdoors a lot more now. Back in the day, I would like it would be nice being like, oh, I don't have to wear a coat anymore. But no, I mean nowadays, like when I go out and the weather is just like beautiful, like I just appreciate it like so much more now, so much more. And I never really had that appreciation for the weather until I like started walking around more and like just losing weight. Yeah, and that's an attitude that I never really thought that I would adapt, but I actually have adapted it. I remember I was like excited for the summer this year. I was so excited for spring and summer, and it wasn't just because it would be easier to drive, but also because I would be able to walk around more and like get some more of that sun, get some more of that vitamin D. And that was just a feeling that was really nice. Something I never thought that I would adapt to, but I did, and it feels good. So overall, if you're happy and you're fine with being overweight, as they would clinically call it, do you? Just do you. I'm not trying to say like if you're overweight, you got to lose weight. I'm not trying to say that. Like I'm just saying, my side of things. But no, I mean, if you are unhealthy though, like being overweight, and you're trying to kid yourself into thinking, oh, I'm just not meant to be skinny, or hey, I could just learn to be happy being fat. Like, no, like it's probably not going to work out for you, man. If you think you're gonna get by like that, like nah, you like it is so worth. Like I'm telling you right now, man, it is so worth it, and you can do it if you want to lose weight. If the doctors are telling you you gotta lose weight, because that's the big thing. If doctors are telling you you gotta lose weight and you're not healthy, like you're gonna die if you try to keep living this life. Like you can do it. Like you can lose weight. Like you just all just starts with baby steps. For me, it was drinking more water. For me, it was walking just a little bit more than what I normally would. That's what it was for me. Now, it's like I know I'm not like everybody else. Like, uh, it may take a longer time for you to adapt than I did because after I took my baby steps, honestly, it didn't take much longer for me to totally adapt to a whole new like diet. Honestly, if I'm being real, but like not everybody's like that. But like you can do it. Like is what I'm trying to say. You can try. You can try when you make those first steps. Like that consistency will come to you. It will in time, right? So what I'm trying to say is prioritize your health, prioritize your happiness. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Don't try to be a people pleaser, you know. Don't worry about that, right? Like, don't try to think, oh, I need to be this way to be happy. Like, happiness will come to you.